Splatoon 3's fresh season has added quite a few weapons that have made their way into the meta, in both low level and top level, but one of these weapons is something no one's talking about. So I'm here today to completely change that. I'm a competitive Splatoon player who's played for almost 8 years, so this video is geared more towards the competitive scene and not solo queue. Also realize that while I am more experienced than others, it doesn't make everything I say factual. Some of this stuff is opinionated and other things aren't. So let's start with some stone cold facts. Roller is not great right now, even in solo queue. The game has too many glaring factors that go against the weapon, making it very difficult to obtain consistent results. You may have games where everything goes right, you play your cards well and win, and other times you'll have games where your cards are still played to the best of your abilities, but you lose. Either because the enemy had better weapons, your teammates weren't doing their jobs, or because Roller was being, well, Roller. It's just inconsistent compared to top tiers such as Splatoon Wiper or the Splash, which is why it's not used in top level play anywhere. Do you know what is consistent though? Hitting that subscribe button, which is as simple as pressing your screen or keyboard. Okay, not my best transition, whatever. The first season added the Krak-On Splat Roller, a direct callback to the kit from the Wii U game, and something I thought would be hot garbage. I've already made a video about the flaws of the base roller, so watch that after this to understand the base weapon's liabilities. But it does have Curling Bomb to move around the map better and make aggressive plays while having Big Bubbler to protect itself and provide support to your teammates. Krak-On effectively reverses these roles, giving it a supportive sub-weapon and an aggressive special weapon. Curling Bomb has been integral to Roller's kit for the past 6 years though, because the main weapon isn't great at getting around. So my thought was, without curling to move around effectively, it would die more and not be able to pop Kraken, effectively making Krak-On worse than the base roller. Well, I was wildly wrong, because Krak-On is significantly better than the base roller. Let's start with the obvious. Kraken is just insanely good. While it needs a few tunebacks to make it not as good at taking objective and anarchy and such, it now has to be used strategically instead of just a panic button like in the first game. 96 Deco has been being used in comp because while the main weapon is flawed, Splash Wall and Kraken make it pretty good at what it needs to accomplish. The same goes with the Krak-On roller. Bubbler was solid for the thing, but there were multiple times where you'd get the special and not really have a chance to pop it, resulting in many games where you'd get around 2 to 3 specials max. Running some special charge up and special saver guarantees Kraken, especially if you run quick respawn. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Why would you want to run quick respawn with this thing? The easy answer is that it's a Slayer, and the ability helps you get back into the action faster and leaves more room for mistakes. But certain weapons use quick respawn for the skirmish playstyle, one that is meant to die. In short, skirmishing is something that certain players do on teams to distract the enemy team to create an opening for your team to push in. And here's an example. You and the enemy team are in mid on splat zones at a stalemate. Being a quick respawn skirmish, you flank right and pressure the enemy from behind, forcing however many players to take care of you before you cause some damage. This creates an opening for your team to push into the players still in mid, separating the team more to take the objective and possibly wipe out the enemy. While the strategy isn't very effective in solo queue, it is when you're on a call with your team and can coordinate those attacks. And with this all being said, I think the Krak-On roller will be the next big skirmish type weapon. Roller is not something that can combo off of other weapons effectively. It's very much a self-centered main weapon, unlike Splash pairing with Machine, which is why the combo is so effective and deadly. However, both Krak-On sub and special alleviate the roller's aggressive playstyle, where it can jump back into the action quicker with Squeakins and almost guarantee value out of Kraken if used correctly. So even if your team is down, Squeakins can help you and your team get back into the action instead of being locked in spawn. And unlike Tetras and Wiper, which have kits that don't do much to help the main weapon, Krak-On is able to utilize the kit it has to its fullest potential. Squeakins get you and your teammates back into vital spots on the map, it locates any enemy nearby, and it can serve as a skirmish spot when no one on your team is nearby. Overall, it's one of the most underutilized subs in the game that is absolutely insane at any level of play. But not only that, Kraken is just fucking amazing for playing Skirmish, because now not only are you distracting the enemy and forcing them to choose what they want to take care of, they also have to deal with an 8-second invincible beast. If used correctly, this thing will always get value. Now, one issue with this roller being a skirmish weapon is, well, it's still just the base roller with a new kit. All of the problems I talked about in this video still stand. Nothing changed. However, it could have a chance when paired with the current meta. Let's say a team is running Splash, Machine, Tasabi, and Krak-On. Splash and Tasabi have got the painting tools and range to keep map control even when the enemy is making a push. These three weapon specials are also great for displacement and killing, so Krak-On would have the proper map control to move around and provide squeakins. It would also have enough room to maneuver to get Kraken and skirmish with it. Rollers are also great for getting enemy players over to you because it's insanely noticeable. Unless a roller is sharking and stealthing around the map, something it's pretty good at doing, an enemy player seeing this thing is guaranteed. Which brings me to my next point. Rollers can not only skirmish in the open, but are also one of the best weapons for being stealthy, meaning you can not only distract the enemy, you can get into the enemy lines very well provided you've got the teammates with the right weapons and coordination to do so. So while the base roller is still in the same spot as when I posted this video, Krak-On can provide a completely different playstyle that the base roller wasn't great at. Curling helped you get in, and Bubbler could be used selfishly as a distraction, but it would immediately get shredded by the multitude of people going to it and leaving a slow-ass roller to die as well, not doing much for your team. And curling isn't great as an approach option, it's way too predictable and easy to see in comp. But Krak-On not only gives you and your teammates a faster way into whatever it is you guys are doing, but it has Kraken, one of the best specials in the game right now, which can not only be used aggressively but also to stall objective or to be a skirmish option that almost always has to be attended to. Now, let's attend to this thing's builds, because that's one of the downsides of using this as a skirmish. Unlike Tetras or Splatana, you can't run a full quick respawn build, which in short means the majority of your abilities on your build consists of just quick respawn, with a few essentials like quick super jump and ink resistance. Krak-On needs ninja squid and stealth jump, no questions asked, but it also needs to have special savior and special charge up to guarantee those Krakens will be pushed out. It also needs sub power up, which gives a quicker super jump to anyone who jumps to your squeakins. One sub of quick super jump later, and you're really only left with 4 secondary slots for quick respawn, unless you don't use LDE or come back on your headgear, which I personally do. So not a lot of quick respawn to work with, but from the month or so I've been using this weapon with the build, it's worked. Do I expect this to be the next big weapon like Tetra or Wiper? No, I don't. Like, not at all. Again, I'm bringing this up a lot, but this video highlights why Roller isn't great and the improvements it needs to function better in this game. If it gets actual buffs, I could see Krak-On being used in high-level comp, but for now, Roller as a base weapon is still mid, but at least Krak-On is fun as hell to use.